Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, has testified that he got approval from Trump to pay hush money to the adult film star Stormy Daniels. Prosecutors accuse the former US president of concealing a reimbursement made to Cohen as a business expense. Well, Cohen took the stand at Trump's criminal trial in New York, which is examining the alleged payments made to Daniels to hide an affair in the run-up to the 2016 presidential election. Cohen told the court that Trump wasn't thinking about trying to protect his wife and that it was all about the campaign. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records. Kristen Salumi reports from outside the court in New York.
Michael Cohen is a lawyer by trade, but on the stand, he described himself as Donald Trump's former fixer, someone who was willing to lie and bully people to please his former boss, particularly in the run-up to the 2016 election, when a lot of bad news was surfacing about Donald Trump, that infamous Access Hollywood tape that came out where Donald Trump was overheard making very disparaging comments about women. Michael Cohen's description of his efforts on the stand included working with the publisher of a national tabloid, David Pecker, and Donald Trump to allegedly bury these stories, in some cases paying money for them not to be published. At the heart of this case is the $130,000 payment that Michael Cohen says he made to Stormy Daniels, the adult film star. His testimony is key to the prosecution proving that Donald Trump hid that payment, describing it as a legal fee, despite knowing that it was being used to pay off someone for burying this bad news. Now, the defense is expected to focus on the fact that Michael Cohen is someone of questionable credibility, given that he has pleaded guilty to several crimes himself, federal crimes back in 2018, including lying to Congress. It is a theme that was taken up outside of the courthouse by Republican politicians who showed up to support the former president, Donald Trump.
He's a convicted felon. I mean, this guy, he's up there giving an acting scene, and all of a sudden he comes out and says, oh, I have recorded President Trump on my telephone. This guy worked for President Trump. I mean, how can you be convinced by somebody that is a serial liar?
The prosecution is expected to finish presenting its case by the end of this week. Unknown at this time whether or not the defense will call former President Donald Trump to testify in his own behalf. Kristen Salumi, Al Jazeera, New York.
Now, Eric Ham is a political analyst and author of The GOP Civil War, Inside the Battle for the Soul of the Republican Party. He joins us from Washington, D.C. Welcome to the program. So what did you make of Michael Cohen's testimony then? Did he deliver, as it were?
Well, I think he delivered with a big question mark. We actually heard from Michael Cohen about the falsification of the business records because he took that document that has already been verified to have Allen Weisselberg's signature that shows the plus up of the money and shows how the falsification was actually going to work. And he tells blow by blow, detail by detail, how they went to Donald Trump's office and spoke to Donald Trump about this. Now, where the question comes in is, will the jury actually believe this? Because there is no one to corroborate what Michael Cohen actually said, but we have the corroboration and how the checks themselves were actually made out and presented to Michael Cohen, as well as the information on the piece of paper by Allen Weisselberg. And so this will now be where the jury is going to have to either put this information together for themselves, because there is no smoking gun or no one that is tainted like Michael Cohen who is actually telling this story.
Well, of course, Michael Cohen has already been to prison on federal charges. Does that make it more difficult for the jury to believe him?
Well, I don't know if it makes it more difficult for them to believe him, because what we also heard from Michael Cohen today is Michael Cohen was corroborating and filling in a lot of blanks in terms of what I think was a very strong foundation in terms of how the prosecution weave this narrative together over the course of 4 weeks. And also the fact that the defense did not object very much to what Michael Cohen was actually saying today. I think what we got from Michael Cohen was someone who did not bring a lot of the bluster, a lot of the defensiveness and rancor that many expected. And of course, the way he was described by many of those witnesses who have been on the stand today, I think we saw a very different Michael Cohen. And it's unclear what the jury will think of Michael Cohen, but he certainly came across as credible. The question is, will it actually stand up on cross-examination?
And in a wider sense, then, politically, does this make any difference at all when it comes to Donald Trump's popularity, especially when you consider a coming U.S. election?
The only way that this case is going to have an impact politically is if Donald Trump is actually found guilty. And I think if Donald Trump is found guilty, I think it will be the beginning of the end of his presidential run, because it's something that he simply will not be able to come back from. Now, polls are continuing to show that Donald Trump is leading, particularly in those all-important battleground states. But when you drill down in those numbers and start speaking directly to likely voters, meaning those who are certainly going to vote, they overwhelmingly are moving more and more towards Joe Biden. And so I think a guilty verdict will hang like a scarlet letter around Donald Trump's neck. And so I think that is the only place where this is actually going to have an impact, if he's found guilty. And so Donald Trump and his lawyers have to make sure that he does not actually get a guilty verdict, because that could be problematic for him.
Eric Ham, we very much appreciate your time here. Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.